Hey guys, it's Chris at Highline Guitars. You're watching another one of my YouTube guitar building videos. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I hope that by the end of this video, I'll have earned the honor and privilege of your subscription. In today's video, I want to ask you, the viewer, a question. When I use terms like bright or dark, warm, muddy to describe the tone of a guitar or the pickups that are in a guitar, does that make sense to you? Do you understand what those terms mean and how they relate to the tone? Or do you need more detail? Do I need to define those terms? Now later on in this video, I'm going to explain my reasoning for using those terms, but I want you to stop and think about that question and what you think about the use of those terms. And then I want you, if you're so willing, to post your thoughts on that topic in the comments section below. Answer the question and tell me what you think. And I want you to do that now before I start to discuss my reasoning for using those terms, because I don't want you or your answer to be colored by what I'm about to say. So I would ask you to pause the video right now. And when we come back, I'm going to go into detail about why I use those terms and some possible alternatives. So go ahead and pause it. We'll be right back. Okay, we're back, and hopefully you've had a chance to answer that question, whether you posted it in the comments section below or are just thinking about it. At any rate, let me give you my reasoning for using those terms to describe the tone of a guitar or the pickups. I didn't invent those terms. They've been around for longer than I've been alive. And in truth, what they are, they're idioms. And if you don't know what an idiom is, you can Google it and get a quick explanation that will tell you what an idiom is. Another example would be how a sommelier describes a glass of wine. They always use idioms to describe what it tastes like, because the only way to know for sure what it tastes like is if you actually taste it yourself. And the same is true with the tone of a guitar or the pickups. The only way you can actually know what it sounds like is to play the guitar yourself. And I've talked about this in other videos where I talk about why I don't like to record audio samples. But I don't want to go off track on that whole topic. So those terms have been used for decades, if not centuries. I don't know how far back they go. But if you pick up just about any copy of Guitar Player magazine and read a review of a guitar or a pickup or an amplifier, speaker, etc., they are always going to use idioms to describe the tone, because that's the only way they can do it in a magazine, whether you're reading the printed copy in your hands or a digital copy online. And the same is true with YouTube videos where guys are reviewing guitars or demonstrating guitars or the pickups that they're equipping a guitar with. They will play the guitar, and sometimes they'll record the audio and you can hear the audio, but in truth, what you're reviewing is not that component. You're reviewing your own speakers that you're listening to the audio with, whether it's your computer desktop speakers, the little speaker in your iPhone, your headphones, your home theater system. That's what you're actually reviewing. It's not the actual component that's being demonstrated in the video. But what you can do is you can go into the comments section for those videos, and you're going to get a whole range of comments where people are describing with idioms what they think of the tone and their impression of it. So obviously this is a concept that's been in use for, who knows how long. I'm certainly not the first to use it. Now, the reason why I bring this up in the first place is because a while back I did a video titled Making Guitar Pickups by the Numbers, and I'll post a link up above in the corner if you'd like to go back and watch that video. But in that video, I explained resistance, inductance, and Gauss, and how you can use those measurements to actually design a pickup. And you can shoot for a certain range of numbers with each of those measurements. And it's a reliable way of making a pickup that's going to produce the tone that you're hoping to achieve. Now, a viewer saw that video and he commented that he was rather disappointed that I hadn't defined what I meant when I would say things like bright or dark or warm or muddy. Now, in that video, I would say things like, you know, the more winds you put on a coil, the higher the resistance. The higher the resistance, the warmer or darker the pickup is going to sound. And conversely, the fewer winds you put on a bobbin, the lower the resistance and the brighter the pickup will sound. And I explain that by saying, once you know, if you're shooting for a specific resistance, what you can do is you can reintroduce some of the lost treble frequencies by the magnet that you choose. You know, you can choose like a ceramic or an Alnico 8 to bring back some of those treble frequencies and put them into the signal. So that way the pickup, you can control how warm or dark it sounds and you can prevent it from getting muddy. But again, the viewer who commented was disappointed that I didn't describe in detail or define the terms bright, dark, warm, or muddy. And I didn't do that simply because so many other people have been using it for so long, I just assume that you, the viewer, would understand what I'm talking about. So that begs the question, how would I define those terms? Well, really, I think, you know, if you're coming from an electrical engineering background, the way you would do it is you would describe each term based on its frequency response and its resonant peak. Those are actual numbers, and if you know electrical engineering and have experience and a background in it, there's a good chance that you're going to be able to read those numbers and know that the pickup is going to sound bright or dark or warm or muddy. I don't do that for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's very complicated, because if a humbucker sounds bright, the frequency response and the resonant peak is going to be different than a single coil that sounds bright. So we start getting into a situation where the definition is going to get burdensome, cumbersome, overwhelming. And I also believe that many of you watching would have no idea what I'm talking about. If I was to simply describe a pickup based on its frequency response and its resonant peak, you wouldn't know whether that relates to bright, dark, warm, or muddy, because you don't have that experience. Now, I could describe a pickup or a guitar as being bright and then include with it a chart showing the frequency response and the resonant peak. But that's going to be complicated to do that and difficult to do it accurately. And I'm still not sure, and I'm still not convinced that a lot of you would connect with that kind of a description. As a result, to keep my videos simple and easy to understand, I've chosen to stick with the terms that so many other people have used, knowing that it's going to make sense. Now, if you're somebody who's interested in making pickups and want to delve into the deep complexity of it, you are going to want to know the frequency response and the resonance peak. However, if you're only going to be making pickups as a hobby or for yourself, it really isn't necessary to know what the frequency response and the resonant peak is. You can still make a great pickup that's going to perform very well. The only reason why you would need to know those numbers is if you're trying to mass produce pickups and are trying to maintain consistency. But my channel is really geared more towards people who are doing this for the fun of it. Now, I know there are some of you out there who are in the business of making pickups or making guitars and pickups, and that information would be important for you to know and understand. And maybe down the road I'll do a video where I talk about more about the frequency response and resonant peak. But I just have a feeling that for most of you watching, that information is unnecessary. You would be perfectly fine with the use of the idioms to describe the tone. That will help you to understand the topic of discussion in the videos that I'm making. So I've hoped that you have found this video to be interesting, and I hope that you were able to post an answer to that question down in the comment section below. What I'm really kind of interested to see is if any of you have any alternate suggestions for describing the tone of a guitar or pickups, verbally, rather than posting numbers that might not people might not relate to. At any rate, we'll see what happens, and maybe I'll do a follow-up to this video. At any rate, I hope you've enjoyed the video. If so, please give it a thumbs up. That really helps this channel. Stop what you're doing right now, click the thumbs up button. You'll be happy that you did, and I will certainly be happy that you did. If you want to take your support to the next level, you can visit eguitarplans.com or my Highline Guitars merch store and purchase plans for building guitars, making the tools that we use to make guitars, like a couple of different pickup winders. And you can also get t-shirts, coffee mug, hoodies, things like that. And whatever you spend is going to help support this channel so that I can keep making these videos where I share my knowledge and experience with guitar building for you guys. So at any rate, I hope you'll be back for more future guitar building videos. In the meantime, take care and stay safe.